Name is Bill Ishaku. Yeah, Principal Consultant, Bill Ishaku Consulting. I want to welcome you to this month's edition of our online Business and Leadership Success Conference. And in today's conference, I'll be sharing a topic that's a little bit below or beyond the surface. All right, I titled this Blood Sacrifice for Business Breakthrough. Blood sacrifice for business breakthrough. Well, interesting you say. I consider that a topic that is a little bit beyond the surface. You know, the truth is that life is deep. All right, and until you understand how to go beyond the surface concerning sensitive matters, one may just be an average achiever, and there's no room for average. All right, in life, yeah, a lot of people have settled for average, but trust me, you are made for more. And because you are made for more, you must be very, very practical and pragmatic about life and very intentional if you are going to get that more, because that more is usually beyond the surface. Yeah, that more that you are made for. All right, it's like those treasures that are deep down in the earth. All right, and miners must keep at mining. All right, mining and mining consistently, and don't give up. You've heard stories of people who mined and mined and mined for several weeks, some months, all right, only to give up before the last struck. And then some other people who didn't labor that much just came and eureka, with just one stroke, they reached the treasure that some people labored all their life for, but couldn't wait or couldn't persist enough to reach the end. All right, it's usually not easy to reach the end, all right? All right, it's usually not a luxury of many to reach the end. Reaching the end is usually a decision, is a choice. It's a choice we make to go all out. It's a choice we make to start a venture or to start a project and then ensure that you see to it that you reach the end of that venture. So stay with me as we discuss on blood sacrifice for business breakthrough, the topic of our August edition of our online Business and Leadership Success Conference. Well, like I started out by saying, that life does not respond to cheap talk. All right, cheap talk as for cheap men. Cheap talk, like someone said many years ago, that a lot of people say talk is cheap, but actually it depends on who is talking. Yeah, it depends on the person talking. If talk is cheap, then it means the man talking is cheap. All right, so life does not respond to cheap talk, all right? Life responds to convictions, deep convictions, all right, that are followed through with consistency, with discipline, with sacrifice, all right, with relentless pursuit. And then talking about pursuit, there's difference between, the pursuit of ambition and the pursuit of vision. All right, so what are you pursuing in life? Are you pursuing your ambitions or you are pursuing your vision? There's a distinction between the two. All right, when you look at the word ambition, my mentor defined the word ambition many years ago. I was a little boy. He said ambition is your own vision that has been galvanized by your desires or maybe by peer pressure. You see other people achieving something, you feel like, oh man, I need that. And that kind of facilitates or informs ambition. He said, but vision is the pursuit of purpose. All right, vision, real vision, all right, as against ambition is the pursuit of purpose. And purpose usually, like we've heard from so many definitions, is the reason why a person is alive. Is that one reason why that person is still breathing. And if you don't take cognizance of the fact that you're actually created to fulfill a purpose, then a person may play small for a very long time in life until they take, cognizance to that fact and then accepts the need to pay the price to acquire or to achieve or to bring to realization that purpose for which he has been created. So ambition, we always ask the question, what can I gain? Ambition is always selfish, all right? But purpose is always selfless. Ambition is always selfish, but purpose is always selfless. When you see people chasing ambition, they can achieve so much within a short time. Yeah, I've seen people that are driven by ambition, people who are motivated by ambition. The ambition to achieve a particular certification, the ambition to achieve a particular great feat, maybe a project that is informed by competition. And of course, they embark on that, and before you know it, eureka, they have achieved their goal. But you see, purpose may not achieve anything in the interim. Purpose goes the long way, takes the longer route to success. But you know the distinction between purpose and ambition? Purpose will always create something that will outlive the person who creates it. So, but you see, for the most part, in our dispensation and in our present world, the reality is that most people chase ambition because ambition can be easily realized most times. But purpose is taking the longer route for success. Now, how does this concern the topic of today? Blood sacrifice for business breakthrough. Stay with me. All right? Stay with me. And you see, I've actually defined purpose, I've defined ambition. There's something driving everybody. Yeah, there's something driving everybody. And until you know what is driving you, hey, you may not really go far. All right? So the distance you cover is determined by your motivation. You wake up every morning, you are motivated to go all out, to pursue your dream, to chase your dream, then there's something driving you. Yes, there's something you are seeing. So what are you seeing? What is motivating you? Is that thing informed and galvanized by your personal ambitions, or it is motivated by purpose? Do you have a sense of purpose with what you are chasing? Do you have a sense of purpose with what you are pursuing? If there is a sense of purpose, trust me, that thing will lead to you building something sustainable. That thing will lead to the building of something that will pass the test of time, because time will always test all our achievements. Time will always prove all our achievements. If they are motivated by selfishness, for selfish gains, for immediate gratification, they will not pass the test of time. But if they are motivated by purpose, trust me, you'll be around for a very, very long time. Me and you will agree with me that ambition can produce very impressive results, right? I've seen people who, are very ambitious. Trust me, I've worked with very, very ambitious people, and they get very impressive results. Sometimes you envy them. You're like, man, I wish I were like this guy. Every time he sets his mind to do something, before you know it, he achieves it. What is the difference? Why is my own different? And sometimes it looks like it's village people. This village people reality in Africa, man, trust me, it's been overrated already. All right? So many innocent village people suffering for what they know nothing about, being accused innocently. All right? So I've met people like that. I've met so many people that, in fact, one of my boss, trust me, once he sets his mind to do anything, it's just magical. You're wondering, how did I grow up? Who do me this thing? How come it looks like I'm just there for a long time, I'm trying to achieve this, I'm trying to achieve that, and then things are not really working at my pace? Trust me, purpose takes the longer route to success. Ambition may get immediate results that can impress and wow everybody looking. And then sometimes if you are in the same family with that kind of person, maybe your elder brother or your younger brother, for most people, it's their younger ones doing all the magic. All right, their younger ones are achieving all the great feats, and then the elderly ones are wondering, why is my own different? Trust me, in the end, all right, those one who wait for so long, when the break comes, it looks like they have done money ritual. It looks like part of what we're talking about today, right? We're going to get to that, all right? And then it looks like, he has done something. You see, we don't even believe in our abilities in Africa. When somebody succeeds, he has done something. When somebody becomes suddenly rich, he has done something. They don't look at all the years of waiting. They don't look at all the sacrifices that person has made, investing his life in his beliefs, in his convictions, investing his time, putting his heart, pouring his whole makeup, his whole being, his entire being into that one goal. And then suddenly, when he's in the limelight, he has done something. He has killed somebody. He has sacrificed somebody. Do you really need to kill somebody to succeed? Must somebody die for people to succeed? That is where Yahoo boys have missed it. That is where many traditional people around, I don't want to mention traditions, but there's a particular tradition, there's a particular tribal ethnic group in Nigeria that are known for blood ritual. All right, they are more than any other person. It's as if it's part of their tradition. They must kill somebody to succeed. But trust me, nobody has to die for you to make it. Nobody has to die for you to succeed. You can succeed, like big time. Big time. So while ambition is busy creating impressive results, do you know the difference? Purpose will always create impactful and meaningful results. Most of the great businesses we've known about in history, their founders did not build such great feats because of their motivation for money. And each time I think of such great inventions and such great businesses that have existed, all right, for so long, and some we are still enjoying, in fact, many of them we are still enjoying till today. One of them is the invention of the aircraft, all right, that law of aerodynamics, all right, the discovery of how to beat the law of aerodynamics, that Newton law of motion that says everything that goes up must come down, but plane goes up, it only comes down when the pilot wants it to, or when something goes wrong. It's not our prayer that when we fly anything, some people cannot fly. There are some people that have flight phobia. All right. So each time I think of the Wright brothers, I just think of, wow, what were these guys thinking? And you know what I found out? These guys saw something. And let me ask you today, watching me, what have you seen? What have you found? What are you seeing right now? Because until you are seeing something, and you know what I also found out? I found out that the Wright brothers, Olive and Wilbur, right? That these guys were sons of clergymen. Does that have any impact on as to why they discovered what they discovered? No, they were aviation men. Anybody can discover anything. Elon Musk, I don't believe he is the son of a clergyman. But being, who I am by virtue of my belief, I believe that also contributed something. Because you see, this life is spiritual. I'm telling you, these guys saw something, and against all odds, with all the distractions and the discouragement from people, trust me, they didn't give up. They went after what they saw. And I heard from the accounts in history that when these guys were putting together what they were seeing, when they were at work trying to build the airplane, at least the first airplane went just, I think, 6 kilometers. Yeah, it flew for just 6 kilometers. And the second one was flown in 1902, and then another one in 1903. At every level, there was an improvement. What was the differentiator? What was that distinction? What was the difference maker? These guys saw a problem, and they set out to solve the problem. That is what makes all the difference when it comes to business success and sustainable business success. The building of sustainable ventures. Trust me, you want to build a sustainable venture and you want to know how to do it. And trust me, if money was not their motivation way back in the 1900s, all right, trust me, that was a model for building sustainable success. We are still enjoying flying right now, right? We are still enjoying the airplane right now because these guys saw a problem and they solved it. So, what problem have you been created to solve? What sacrifice is required for you to achieve success in that which you have been designed to solve? And like I said, great businesses that we have known from time immemorial in history, and even the ones that are succeeding today, all the founders didn't create those businesses because they were motivated by money, or they were looking for money. They saw a problem, they found a need, and they decided to fill in the space. That is what purpose does. Purpose finds a problem and seeks to solve that problem. And trust me, that is the beginning of sacrifice. Sacrifice begins when you discover a problem and then you set out to begin to solve that problem or to provide solution to that problem. That is where sacrifice begins. And until you understand the word sacrifice, trust me, a person's journey may be longer than expected. So now, why blood? All right. Why blood when we talk about sacrifice? You see, even the scripture, I'm a Christian, right? I believe in the scripture. In fact, most of my inspirations are informed by my scripture. All right. So why blood? Why thinking about this topic, blood sacrifice for business breakthrough? I began to think, why does the Bible put so much premium on blood? Leviticus chapter 17 and verse 11 says something powerful. It says, the life of the flesh is in the blood, which means, hey, the flesh is useless without the blood, right? So when the person dies, what happens is that the heart stops pumping blood, right? And then immediately his skin begins to change in color, looks pale, begins to look dry, and then it begins to decay almost suddenly. That's to tell you how powerful the blood is. And then even when it comes to, blood, there's a difference between the human blood and the animal blood. I read somewhere in the Bible, in the book of Hebrews, how the blood of animals and bulls could not remedy or could not bring redemption for man until the blood of a man, the blood of a God man, all right, brought the final judgment and executed the final redemption process for the whole of humanity. You see how powerful blood is? You see how powerful blood is? Hey, the subject of blood is non-negotiable in success adventure. Let's get to it. All right. So if the book of Leviticus 17 verse 11 says, for the life of the flesh is in the blood. Now, you agree with me that blood, therefore, becomes a very powerful symbol, all right, when it comes to covenant. When people enter into covenant, it's usually sealed with blood. Every covenant that is entered into and sealed with the blood of animals, those ones can easily be broken. But when covenants are entered and they are sealed with the blood of humans, trust me, this is why some people can run mad when they break the edge, all right, when they breach the agreement of a covenant that has been sealed with the blood of humans. While growing up, some foolish friends of mine enter into stupid covenants with girls in the barracks. Covenants of I love you, and then they'll cut their hand, the blood will spill, they will pour it inside a tumbler, pour water on it, both of them will mix their blood together, and they will drink it. Some people run mad because of that, Some people have destroyed their destinies because of such, stupid covenants. Now, the truth is this. Under the new covenant, the ultimate sacrifice that we know about is not the sacrifice of any human blood, but the sacrifice of the blood of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ gave his life for the redemption of humanity. And that's why we are still here today. All right. So when we bring the principle of sacrifice into business, we are simply talking about something very powerful, not the sacrifice or the shedding of human blood. But we will see that later in this discussion about how so many cultures in Africa, so many dark cults place very serious premium on blood sacrifice, all right, as a price for success. Is that a reality in our world, in Africa? Yes. All right, it's no news that human sacrifice is a common practice in Africa and in so many places around the world. So if blood is so important, all right, and if we are talking about the blood being the life of the flesh, all right? So we need to look at what life itself is. So what is life? I wrote a very powerful definition, when I was writing this, and I want to read my definition of life. What is life? I said life is an endless opportunity to manifest the nature of God, the divine nature of God on earth through man, all right? Life is an endless opportunity to manifest the nature of God through man on earth and then experience the fullness of this life, this same life of God in eternity, in glory. I take that definition again. And maybe you need to write this down. In fact, when this came to my mind, when I was writing this content or writing this conference topic, developing it, I was like, this definition, I need to look at it again. And then I was like, wait, life is I knew this thing is beyond me. Yeah, I'm sure the Spirit of God just inspired me to, that definition. Because I've never heard it anywhere. I've never read it anywhere. Life is an endless opportunity. Endless opportunity to manifest the nature of God through man on earth and to experience the fullness of his life and glory in eternity. So if life is God's opportunity to express himself through us, trust me, then business should not merely be about making money. All right, it should be an opportunity also for us to express our creativity and all that God has put in us, all right, to solve the problems of humanity here on earth. When you look at it critically, if life is an opportunity given to us by God, because we are an extension of God, yeah, we are a manifestation of God and his abilities. If life has been given to us as an opportunity for us to manifest his divine nature here on earth, the reason why it is an opportunity is because the earth is a finite realm, all right? This life of mortality has an end. Mortality has limitation, but immortality is unlimited. So God gave us life, all right? Don't forget, Leviticus 17, verse 11. The life of the flesh is in the blood, which means it's only in this world that you need blood. Which means spirits don't have blood. Your spirit body doesn't have blood because it doesn't need it. So what powers the spirit body is the soul, of course. All right. So if the life of the flesh is in the blood, it means blood carries life. And that is why the dark world don't play down on the potency and the power of blood. See them crying, blood, blood, blood every now and then. They can cause accidents just to get human blood. They can go to any length just to get human blood. This is very, very powerful. So God has given us this life as an opportunity for us to manifest him. So there's God in you. Yes, there is God in you. God has put his abilities in you. Somebody is listening to me right now. Something is changing in you. If you are an extension of God, if you are a representation of God, if you are a manifestation of God, why are you being limited? Why are you being shortchanged? Why does it look like nothing can happen good for you? Why does it look like you're struggling so much without answers? Trust me, you have an ability, a rare ability given to you by divinity to fulfill the purpose for which he has created you here on earth, because this is an opportunity for you to manifest him. Not an opportunity for you to be ambitious, not an opportunity for you to live life the way you want or on your own terms. Life is an opportunity given to us by God to manifest him while here on earth. And then the reason why it is an endless opportunity is because life does not end here. There's an extension. There's a life beyond this life. Life continues in eternity. So in eternity, we have the full package. We have the fullness of God in glory, and it is endless. Mortality has an end. That's why we die. That's why the life in the blood has an end. Yes. It is the spirit that does not have an end. So take note of this fact. And then, if, like I said, God has given us gifts, the gift of life, to manifest him, not ourselves. If you are living for yourself, man, then you're missing something big. If you are living for yourself, if you're not living for people, living for God's purpose and God's glory, if you don't understand the sacrifice that you are required to make to fulfill God's mandate for your life and to fulfill your calling here on earth as an opportunity that has been given to you to manifest God, to live God. That's why the Bible says we are gods. Are you living like a God? A God is not limited. A God is not shortchanged. A God is not incapacitated. A God is not mentally retarded. A God knows what to do. A God knows where to go per time. A God knows what he is required to make or offer as sacrifice for whatever success he is desiring or he desires or he has been created to achieve. There's a success that you must achieve. What is the sacrifice that is required to achieve that success? Find it. I'm telling you, because until you find it, this is where many people missed it. All right. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs that through desire, so it begins at the level of desire. All right. So many people, there's nothing wrong with good desires, healthy desires. But then they desire to be wealthy. They desire to live a happy life. They desire to be fulfilled. But then they are getting it through the wrong route because of wrong associations and wrong counsels, wrong advices. All right. So a young boy feels well, my family is broke, my family is poor, I need to be rich to help my family out of poverty. And then because he has wrong people around him who are into internet fraud, they introduce him to Yahoo Yahoo. Or they just tell him, well, there's a shortcut. This happens a lot, even in the north. A man that wants to be wealthy will just go find one Baba that can do money ritual. In my village, they can do money ritual with even chicken. Yeah, they get the chicken, they light a fire, a very serious fire, and then the chicken is offered some maize, some grain of maize, and then he eats. The number of maize that chicken eats before he runs into that fire and dies is the number of years that person that the sacrifice is being made on his behalf will live. So the person's prayer must be the chicken must eat enough, maybe 20, 30, 40 grains of maize before the chicken will be released to run into the fire. Or then if the chicken eats one, that's the end. It means the person is going to enjoy his wealth for just 1 year. You can imagine that. So blood sacrifice is a reality here in Africa. All right. Now, but what is the real blood sacrifice in business? What is the real blood sacrifice that we're talking about in business? And I've stressed the fact that in Africa, blood sacrifice for wealth and business success is not, it's not something new. It's something we know about. All right. So many traditional practices encourage this. All right. But trust me, it's the worst crime against humanity. Blood sacrifice for business breakthrough or for whatever success. Many years ago, I traveled to the East and I heard of, what's this his name? He's very popular, Ezego, of how a lot of the news has it that he did money ritual and all that. And then I learned from the people we traveled together that the man used to be an okrika seller. If you're in Nigeria, you know what okrika is. All right, that Ezego used to be someone who was selling used clothes. Like if you go to supermarket, Katangwa, where people go to buy used clothes here in Lagos. All right, yeah, I actually have a friend there who does that business. I know a lot of people who go there to buy stuff to come resell and all that. That this man was into this kind of business before he did money ritual, and he became very, very wealthy, like stupendously rich, but he didn't live long. Talk about the consequence of blood sacrifice for money ritual. It costs people's lives short. So, what is the relevance of blood sacrifice for business success today? I've taken it higher now. The real blood sacrifice you are required to make. You will discover more of it as I continue in this conference. Of course, the truth is that human sacrifice is not a legitimate pathway to success. It is a crime against humanity, and anybody who engages in it. In fact, a policy should be created that anybody who is caught in that act should pay. It should be discouraged. It is part of what has evolved. It used to be human, blood sacrifice or money ritual. It gradually evolved into kidnapping for wealth. All these are different mediums of human sacrifice. Because do you know how many people have been kidnapped and were killed? Even after the ransom was paid, because people want to be rich. I saw videos of some of these guys who are kidnapping people, how they stacked up money. Men, you see the money. Even Central Bank, I don't think that kind of money, as in cash of people's sweat, hard-earned money. Why? Because some people just want to be rich through every medium possible. So for me, the sacrifice that is required for you to succeed in business, that is also blood sacrifice, but legitimate blood sacrifice. Number one is your commitment. You must find why you are born. You must discover what you are created, the problem you are created to solve. Number one, when you are committed, trust me, there's a part of you that is going into that thing that you are committed to. You think that's not blood? If that's not blood, what is it? Because you are alive by blood. It is blood that is powering your genetic makeup. It is blood that is powering your survival. It is blood. That is why when you are not living healthy, you are not eating well, there's a shortage of blood. Your immune system can depreciate. When you are overworking yourself, you are pouring yourself so much, you are having sleepless nights. That is blood that you are sacrificing. You see, now you are getting me. Now you see where I'm going to, right? You see where I'm going to. Just stay with me. Stay with me. Don't worry. See, your time, your commitment, You see, John Maxwell in his leadership book said that when time is wasted, it is beyond time that is wasted, because management and leadership consultants see time as life. So time, life. So when you waste time, you waste life. And if life is blood, you can't separate life from blood. If the life of the flesh is in the blood, so when you waste time, you have wasted blood. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. When you waste time, you have wasted blood. And when you waste blood, you have wasted life. So you don't waste time, you waste life. And you don't waste life, you waste blood. So when you are investing your heart, your entire being into that problem you know in your heart that you have been created to solve. One of the ways to know such problem is that thing that you think about regularly, all right, it doesn't leave your heart. Every day you wake up, you can't help but think consistently about that thing. You know in your heart that this is a problem you have been created to solve. You know in your heart that you are born for this. And then you are at the pursuit of that thing regularly. Trust me, that is blood. You are sacrificing your blood the right way in business. So your discipline, your decision to be disciplined at that thing that you know you have been created to solve, that problem you know you have been created, that decision to be disciplined. Because discipline is not for cheap people. Discipline is not for common people. Discipline is not easy. Discipline is one of the most difficult things to do. And what is discipline? Many years ago, I read a book that says, discipline is doing what you are required to do, whether you feel like doing it or not. So discipline is that ability, that rare ability to start something and finish it, irrespective of your mood swing. All right? Irrespective of your mood swing, whether you are happy, whether you are sad, you are at it. I repeat that. Whether you are happy, whether you are sad, you keep at it. And there's a law that says keeping at it is what makes all the difference in the pursuit for success. If you start it today and you don't continue tomorrow, what's this book? This book that is trending right now. It's about habits. All right? The title is about habits. All right? Something habits. So it says that you must never have two misses. That if you miss one day in your decision to be disciplined and to be committed to a cause, if you miss one day, don't miss 2 days. Because there's a possibility for you to miss one day. So, but when you are trying to develop discipline, in your pursuit of something, or you are committed to a cause, there is a tendency for life to happen. So that's where contingency planning in project management comes in. So that possibility, you already have a plan that, okay, if I miss one, I will not miss two. So your ability to be disciplined, all right, when you are disciplined, trust me, a part of you is being burned. You are sacrificing your blood when you are disciplined. When you are creative, intentionally creative at something, you are sacrificing your blood. When you have integrity, it's painful sometimes to have integrity, because you are seeing others who are doing it the wrong way, all right, and they are getting faster results, but you are pained because you can't do it the wrong way, all right. You decide to keep at it. So integrity can be very painful. Integrity can be costly, but trust me, it pays in the end, all right. You see, when you have a clean conscience is like a peaceful pillow. You will sleep well at night. But if in your dealings you don't have a pure conscience, even when they are not pursuing you, you are pursuing yourself. That's what the Bible means when it says the righteous man is as bold as a lion. But the wicked runneth when no man is pursuing him. He's walking like this on the road, but he's hearing legs. He's hearing, and those legs are in his imagination. Legs of the people that he has defrauded. Legs of the people that he has offended. Legs of the people that he has circumvented. People who circumvent processes in life will always cut their journeys short. Many years ago, a man wanted to, do his marriage. He was one of my big brothers while we were growing up in the barrack. I just remember now, while talking about people who cut corners just to hit it big, fast. who make more, who would go as far as killing anybody just to succeed or to have business breakthrough. This guy was a pastor. He was serving in a ministry. He was employed. And then this my big egbon was a pastor in that ministry too. He was going to do his wedding. He gathered all the money he could gather, asked all the people he could ask for help, and was able to gather sufficient money. And the wedding was scheduled. Guess what happened? This man, who was also a pastor in this ministry, we didn't know that he was an unrepentant 419 who was hiding under the... You see, when lie wears the garment of truth, even the pastor will be deceived. I'm telling you, when a lie is putting on the garment of truth, even the priest will be deceived. The priest will miss it. So this guy was among us for a long time. We didn't know he was a criminal. This man made the mistake of his life, gave him this money to keep just for the night that I want to go, and there are some projects we need to, there are some things we need to pay for this wedding. Please hold this money. Yeah, we're good friends. Before 6 a.m., the guy was nowhere to be found. 6 a.m. in the morning. We thought maybe he went to buy something. Till now, I'm talking of over 20 years ago, 20-something years ago. We are still looking for we are still looking for him. 20-something years ago. This guy almost had that attack because he didn't have money. All the money he had gathered for his wedding, somebody absconded with the money overnight. That kind of man will kill somebody for money. That kind of man will do money ritual. That kind of person that will, the money somebody has gathered for his wedding, he disappeared with it. Before 6 a.m., they just gave you, please keep it. We'll collect it tomorrow morning, we'll go and pay for some stuff. And then before 6 a.m., you were gone. No, that kind of man will kill his mother for money ritual. Be careful of people who will do anything for money. Be careful of such people. I'm telling you. So, all what I've listed, your ability to be committed, your decision and, resolution to be committed, the creativity you put in that which you have, discovered that you are created to solve that problem, all those things are your blood burning. Yes. So, before you actually pass the test for success, before you pass the test to even begin to invest your blood into your adventure for success, there are certain tests you must pass. And listen to me very carefully. Before you build anything that will be sustainable, there are certain tests. The first one here, I call it the PA test. What is the PA test? Purpose alignment test. Now, does your vision solve a problem, all right, that is genuinely in your heart? All right? Does your vision solve a problem your heart is genuinely burdened to solve? Or do you simply want to make money? You need to answer that question now. Check your heart now. If you are in business, whatever it is you claim to be the purpose for which you are alive, or the purpose for which you are in that thing, whether it is a business, whether it's a service you are rendering, whatever it is that you have discovered that is a problem you must solve. Are you in it because of money? All right. So the truth is that there are so many people that are pursuing businesses simply because they saw other people succeeding in those businesses. All right. But you must understand that the economy will change. So if you are pursuing something that you saw somebody succeed in, you don't know what they know. You don't know if that thing that they are doing is what they have been designed to do. You will get stuck eventually. Even if you make money, immediately by chasing ambition, it's not sustainable. Why not live your life pursuing something that will be sustainable? Even if once in a while you see opportunities to chase your ambition, because there's no one will not be ambitious, to chase your ambition and make immediate money, make quick money, still use that money to sponsor your purpose. What I've said now is deep, and this is what many people are not willing to do. That's why they will wake up every morning and go for a paid employment from morning till evening, come back, sleep, wake up the next day, and start the journey again the next day. Trust me, you are made for more than that. I'm telling you, you are made for more than that. You see, people follow competition. They follow what is popular, what is trending. Trust me, things that are trending, trend come and trend go, but purpose will remain. Trend will come, trend will go, purpose will not fail. So chase purpose. All right, find the problem that you have been designed to solve and solve it. Don't chase trend. Trend will be challenged with time. All right? Anything you create out of competition. Some people went to a village meeting and then they were insulted because they didn't have money. And that was what informed their decision to pay any price for money. And some of them killed their wives. Some of them killed their sisters. Some of them killed their loved ones for money ritual. Simply because they were insulted at the village meeting. And they wanted to prove themselves that. How can somebody prove himself by killing somebody? It means you are weak. It means you are incapacitated, mentally retarded. Someone who is hopeless. I don't know if you watched that young man, I think was it last year or 2 years ago, who said he was lured, he was deceived into, using himself. As now, well, you can say his own was not too bad. Of course, whatever is bad is bad. He sacrificed himself for his own money ritual. And the agreement was that he will live for, was it 5 years? So that 5 years, okay, he will live to be 40. And as at when he made this money ritual, I think they said he was 35. So he was going to enjoy the wealth for just 5 years. As at when he did this money ritual. And then, as at when he was talking, he did a video. As at when he was talking, this guy was living in a mansion. This guy was in wealth, that kind of wealth that is intimidating. And he was a young boy, very young guy. And he said he knows that he knew, I don't know whether that he wasn't going to live long. But that he knew before he entered the agreement, and he entered, that nobody should pity him. While I was watching him, I was praying for him. I said, so you, no. How can people be that, mentally retarded, that clueless? Something you can get. Who says you cannot become that wealthy in life if you chase that which God has designed you for? Trust me, I have been around for a while. When people succeed from purpose, trust me, that wealth will go from generation to generation, especially if they do the right thing. They put systems in place. The reason why most businesses don't survive or pass the test of time in Africa and around the world is because people don't create things from purpose. You don't retire from purpose. You don't retire from chasing that which God has created you for. You can't retire. When is Kenneth Copeland going to retire? In the last faith conference, Pastor Poju was there. Most people in Africa, I think Stephen Akintayo was also there. Of course, when you follow them online, you see these things. This man, is he 89 right now? And he's still preaching. Some people retired from ministry years ago. Are we saying that it's not good to retire? It's good to retire. Have you seen John Maxwell, my mentor in leadership? John Maxwell is still bouncing at almost, at over 80 or close to 80 right now. He's enjoying himself. He said he doesn't have any plan to retire. Even if I think at some point they get to that level where their itinerary, their travel schedule, reduced. They don't take offers. But in one of his recent conferences, he was talking. He said he holds conferences for people around the world from his room, thanks to the internet, thanks to virtual meeting. At 80 something, trust me, if you are on paid employment and you live all your life, in case you don't know now, I just received this one now. I'm not a prophet. But I want to tell you that you are also sacrificing your blood if you are on paid employment. Take it or leave it. Because, what else are you sacrificing? Is it pure water that is running through your vein? It's not pure water, it's blood. It's blood. You are sacrificing blood. So everybody is involved in one sacrifice or the other. You must sacrifice something. But you don't have to kill anybody to be wealthy. You don't have to kill anybody to be financially free. You don't have to kill anybody to break through in business. Oh no, I hope you get this. I really hope you get this. If you are working for somebody, it is blood that you are sacrificing. Every day we are sacrificing blood. Our blood. We are not killing anybody. So what is the right, sacrifice to make for your success in business? I've mentioned all of them. If you didn't join by that time, go back and watch. Now I'm highlighting some tests that you must pass if you must be qualified to even make this sacrifice in the first place. The second test is the LA test. I call it longevity alignment test. These are tests for your purpose. Tests for your purpose to prove if that is what God has created you to do, because we know. One of my mentors taught me early in life. He said God comes to everybody early in life, but most of us miss him. What does that mean? He said that God comes to give you signal of that thing that you should live the rest of your life chasing. He said, but most of us ignore such, dealings, such internal conversations. Why? Because we want immediate gains, because we want immediate gratification, because we are looking for what will we eat today, what will we eat tomorrow. The anxiety and the fear of tomorrow is keeping us going in circles. We refuse to chase that which we have been created to chase because we are afraid of tomorrow. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up? And Matthew Shumulo said, Pastor Matthew Shumulo, our daddy, he said that we start life too late in Africa. You know what that means? We spend the most part of our life laboring and working for others, sometimes even working for ourselves, but chasing the wrong things. And then when push has come to shove, when we have used up the most part of our energy, the most, productive years of our lives, all right, chasing the wrong thing, we now come back and want to start chasing the right thing. How about now? Why not make that decision on time? Make it early, such that even when you are chasing, you are working for somebody, you are building something. You come back home, you retire to something that you will live the rest of your life doing. You must not forget this. Okay? So the LA test is called the longevity alignment test. Will this product or service that you are creating, that you are doing now, will it create meaningful impact beyond the excitement of the now? Will it produce that value for people? All right? Now, it must also ask, the LA test, the longevity test must always ask, what lasting difference am I creating for my customers, for the people who patronize? Because the truth is that markets will change. I'm telling you, technology has changed things already. Customer behaviors change daily. These are daily reality. Customers may be patronizing you today, tomorrow they have changed address. Why? Because maybe your product is not delivering what it promises. All right? As at when, they encountered it. It's not sustainable. The feelings they are getting, customers will change. Their loyalty will always change. Watch it and be careful. All right? So the longevity test is very, very important. All right? The longevity test is non-negotiable. So economic conditions will also change, and they will impact upon every business and service that people are rendering. You must build something that can continue serving tomorrow's customers. So build with tomorrow's customers in mind. Don't just build with today's customers in mind alone. The third test is the CV test. I call it the customer value test. Now, can your customers genuinely see that your product or service is designed to improve their life and not just to put money in your bank account? Can they see that? Most things are not just felt, they are seen. All right? It's good when they are seen, but it's better when they are felt. Because when they are felt, you don't need to say words. You market better when your product delivers that feeling than promises. Mere promises doesn't hold water. Your product will do better, your services will do better, whatever you are doing will do better when it gives people that feeling of satisfaction that, I got value for my money. Yeah. When that is happening to you, then you are offering the right blood sacrifice. Your personality, your DNA has patented your product and service. All right? So, people are becoming increasingly intelligent about value. People want value. All right? They don't just want to make you rich. They want value for their product. So, what difference will this your product that you're offering and the service make in the life of people? What difference? What difference is it making right now? Now, this is why. It is because people don't buy effects. They buy difference. Effects are mere promises, features of your product. Difference is that patent that your product and service carries that makes all the difference. Now, finally, the DNA test. What is the DNA test? I call it the distinctive nature and authenticity test. The distinctive nature of your product or service and the authenticity test. Authenticity. Hey, Oimbo. Authenticity test. The distinctive nature and authenticity. I'm laughing at myself. Authenticity, better. Authenticity, the authenticity test. So the truth is that in business, I just want to use, that metaphor of DNA, all right, for originality and identity. Does your product and service carry your originality? Do they carry your identity? Until that happens, you have not done the right blood sacrifice. All right. So every great business needs an identity. That's what some people call your unique selling point, or your value proposition. All right. What is that thing that makes many people can be doing the same thing, but what's that thing that makes you different? What's that thing that makes you stand out of the crowd? All right. We don't want another version of something that's already existing. Don't be a copycat. All right. Don't be a second version. Be the original. Even if it's something that many people are doing, it can carry a stamp of your originality and your identity. You can make that happen, all right? You can make that happen, because the truth is that when you are a second version, there's limitation, all right? So the truth is that it must not be a business that is built entirely because someone else, like I've said before, someone else succeeded in it, all right? If that is the case, it won't carry your originality now. If you are running with a vision because somebody else did it, all right, the truth is that the marketplace needs the unique value that you were created to contribute. And this is what I mean when I say that there's something God has put in you to deliver to this world. All right. Do you know that thing can be built around a product that is already existing? So when they say don't reinvent the wheel, they are simply saying that you can actually take something that is already existing and put your original stamp on it, the stamp of your identity. You don't have to invent it. You can reinvent it. You don't have to invent it. You can reinvent it. You can make the difference in something that is already existing and give people a feeling of satisfaction that existing thing has never given anyone. Yeah, trust me. That is a possibility. So the ultimate business sacrifice. All right. So what is the blood sacrifice required for business breakthrough? It is not human blood. It is not human blood. We don't need human blood for business breakthrough. It is simply the willingness to give your life, to give your gifts, to give your time. I've shared all this before. To be disciplined, be intentionally disciplined. Put your creativity. Creativity is not easy. It's not easy to stay up at night thinking. All right, putting, systems in place, putting your thoughts, putting your mind to work to come up with a solution for a challenge. It's not easy. Trust me. So, but when you do all that, all right, you discover that you make all the difference. That is the blood sacrifice we're talking about. All right, when you put your persistence in something that is greater, all right, something that is not about immediate gratification. All right, when you put persistence, consistency, and you allow yourself, all right, to sacrifice yourself now for that thing, not by, you know what I mean? All right, so it is choosing purpose over popularity. Some people will do anything for popularity. Some people will do anything just to trend. That's how some people can come. They don't even mind trending by crime. All right? So it is choosing value over vanity. What is value? Value is that thing that gives satisfaction. That thing that brings long-time fulfillment. All right? And then the truth is that just like sacrifice is when you give up something valuable for something of higher value. Maybe I should repeat that. You are giving up something valuable because there's something more valuable you are looking for. That is why human life is not the way to go. Human blood is not the way to go. There's God's judgment on anyone that shares blood. Hope you know that. All right. So that sacrifice of choosing integrity over shortcuts. It is not easy to have integrity. I'm telling you, people who have integrity are respected. All right. It is choosing to keep building even when there is no applause, when people are not clapping for you, when people are not celebrating you, when you are when you are ambiguous, you are not seen, you are anonymous, you are building, you are in the hiding, you are just building, nobody is seeing you. All right. When you choose that path, you are sacrificing your blood. That's the sacrifice we're talking about. It is choosing to solve a problem because you believe people's life can become better because you are existing. When you make a choice to solve a problem because you know that life can be better because you are here. When you have that mentality, all right, there's a paradigm shift already. You have moved from the crowd. You have created a space for yourself in life. And it's just a matter of time you manifest. And that will be your reality. That's the sacrifice that we're talking about. All right. And that is where meaningful breakthrough begins. Yeah. Because when your purpose is clear, when your product creates lasting value, when your customers can feel the difference, and when your DNA is embedded in what you create, you are no longer merely running a business. Trust me, you are expressing something through business. Business is simply an opportunity for you to experience your originality, to express your originality and express that purpose that God has created you to fulfill. Business becomes an opportunity for you to deliver that which God has given you to give to humanity. So you are expressing, you are communicating, you are manifesting something through business. All right? And when you understand all this, that is when you are turning your purpose into value. You turn your purpose into value by understanding that, oh, this is what I am born to do. This is the problem I'm born to create. This is the sacrifice that I must make. I must give myself. When you are in a thing half-heartedly, you cannot achieve anything from that thing. Don't go into anything with half of your heart. Go into anything you are doing with the whole of your heart. And trust me, it's just a matter of time. You make all the difference. So when you understand that, you discover that you are turning your value, all right, into impact, because you go from turning your purpose into value, and then from turning your value into impact, and then you are turning impact into legacy. When you create system around that which you have been created to deliver to this world, you will immortalize your personality and your impact. Long after you are gone, your business and your services will still be making a difference in the life of people. Why? Because you have made the right blood sacrifice. What is that right and correct and legitimate blood sacrifice you are making for your business to remain here even after you are long gone? It is simply by putting the whole of your heart into what you are doing. Because you know that place in the scriptures where God instructed Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac. And in the book of Hebrews, we were told that God saw that Abraham actually sacrificed Isaac in his heart. But God didn't allow him to sacrifice him physically. What does that tell you? When you put your heart into anything, God has accepted the sacrifice already. You should clap for me now. When you put your heart into anything, just like it was said concerning Abraham in the book of Hebrews, that God saw that he had already sacrificed Isaac in his heart. God accepted the sacrifice that was already made in the heart. And then God stopped the physical one and provided animals instead of Isaac. What does that tell you? The correct blood sacrifice you offer for anything is to put the whole of your heart into it. Go and find and look out for people who are chasing anything in this life with the whole of their heart. They are going to get it. They are going to get it. That's what management consultants we call focus. We call consistency. We call discipline. It is all about pouring the whole of your heart. Because if you pour your heart into it, you will stay awake at night. If you pour your heart into it, you'll be disciplined. If you pour your heart into it, trust me, you will not allow distractions, because there are so many distractions. TD Jakes call them detours to destiny. Detours to destiny, which means detours, distractions, bends that may distract you once in a while. Some of them are immediate gratification. You are pursuing a great feat, and you know that you need all of your heart, all of your focus on that one thing, underline one thing, not many things. People who chase so many rats don't catch any. All right? I keep hearing people saying, I want to use one stone to kill many birds. I've never seen that happen anywhere. You know what I'm talking about? Let me look for some birds now and throw one stone and kill many of them. Is that magic? Maybe juju be that. All right. So as a round off, I want to remind you, have you found that which you have been created to solve? Have you found the problem you have been created to solve? What ritual are you required to make? I've explained it. Your heart. Once you sacrifice yourself by deciding that this is what I've been born to do, it may be fashion. I'm telling you, What's the name of that guy in Abuja? I've forgotten that his name again. That has turned fashion to oil business. As in, the money he's making from fashion alone is as if he's doing oil business. That is when somebody puts the whole of his heart into it. Who told you that your own fashion business cannot become like that? When you make the right connections, you learn to collaborate. You find the right people, collaborate with them. It is called independence for interdependence. You are an independent person because you can succeed alone, but your success will be limited. But you now understand the power of interdependence. You are now collaborating with people who have the right information that you need to scale, who have the right contacts to link you to people that can help you scale at higher level. I see politicians going to a shop there in Abuja. Yeah, it's all over the internet. Even the president, the vice president, they go there. He has become a celebrity fashion designer. Who told you cannot achieve that? You can do it if you put the whole of your heart into that thing you have been created to do. So when you do that, you turn your purpose, all right, into value. From your purpose, you create value for people that will give them satisfaction. Then you turn your value into impact. Your value becomes impactful. From there, you turn impact into legacy after you have created systems around that which you are building. I don't care what it is. If you create system around it, it will immortalize your personality. Your originality will be on it. That is when you have passed the DNA test. I've explained all that in all the tests that you must pass as an entrepreneur who must succeed in life without having to shed the blood of anybody. You can succeed without shedding the blood of any individual. So don't sacrifice anybody for business. That's not what we're here to teach. Sacrifice yourself, because every day, whatever it is you are pursuing, you are sacrificing your blood. If you are working for somebody, you are sacrificing your blood, because it is blood that is driving you. The Bible says, Leviticus, I quote it again, Leviticus 17 and verse 11. The life of the flesh is in the blood. It is blood that you are burning every day. It's blood you are sacrificing every day. So you are already sacrificing blood, whether you like it or not. The question now is, are you sacrificing the blood for yourself, or are you sacrificing it for somebody? Pastor Paul, you said, that man's wife noticed that her oga was always praying. No, the woman was always praying. How did he tell us that story? Okay, this is what he said. That this man went and built some houses in Lekki and, put all his employees there. He's a multi-billionaire. He's a Nigerian, real life story. In Nigeria, the business is doing so well. All right? And every day, the families and the wives of all these employees are praying for this Oga that has this business. Okay, it's the Oga that was narrating the story to Pastor Boju. He said, their wives are praying for me every day. Now may God bless your Oga. Hey, the way he's taking care of his employees. And you know what the Oga said? He said, but I know in me that most of these people that I'm taking care of like this, that are my employees, if they start out on their own, they will do better than me. Aye. When Pastor Boju said that thing, I said, Jesus, look at what a CEO knows about his own employees that the employees don't know about themselves. What an aberration. What an aberration. What an aberration. So you are sacrificing your blood, whether you like it or not. Every day that you are alive, whether you're working for yourself or for somebody, you are sacrificing your blood. Make sure your sacrifice is on point, and make sure you're sacrificing for yourself. Put your heart into it, and God will accept your sacrifice. It is the devil that accepts blood sacrifice of human blood for business breakthrough, right? God accepts the sacrifice of your heart into that which he has created you to do. As a round-off, sacrifice yourself for the value your business was created to bring to people. Sacrifice yourself. How do you do that? Pour your heart into it. That is the blood sacrifice for business breakthrough. Until I see you again in the next month's edition of our online business and leadership success conference, I hope you got value from today's conference. My name is Billy Shaku, one more time, Principal Consultant, Billy Shaku Consulting, and CEO, Be My Solutions Limited. Keep winning. Bye-bye.